Hello and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but I'm going to show you what I've been working on over the past couple months. This is my mahogany spear gun. It's handmade, and in this video I'm going to show you how it works and how I made it. Firstly, how does this thing actually work? How does it shoot? So the gun is a rail gun. It's got two 16mm bands. These bands are circular bands. They get pulled back onto the shark fin tabs of this spear. From there, the spear is held in place by the trigger mechanism, and upon pulling the trigger, the spear is released from the gun and fires away, and it is retained onto the gun by this shooting line, which eventually marries up with the reel. I'm going to talk you now through how I made the gun. So the gun was made out of a solid block of mahogany. Only help I had was a friend has routed a groove into the gun. From there, I wanted to have a twin banded muzzle design. So I got a 16mm drill piece, and I've drilled 2 holes for the muzzle bands to fit through. From there, I've used a Dremel tool and chisels and mallets and profiled the gun as much as I can to give it a kind of cuttlefish profile so that it would move efficiently through the water from side to side. Throughout the gun, I've faced a number of challenges with design and what would work best. So wherever possible, I wanted stuff to be nice and flush. So when it came to fitting the reel seat, I've used a Dremel tool and I've beveled it out nice and neatly. And the same thing for the line anchor, so that everything can sit inlaid into the gun. I've made a trigger guard from hand out of a piece of metal, which I've used an angle grinding tool on, and then I've bent it into place. I've made a tiny little groove just in there, where the end is going to get epoxied into the gun. So the handle itself was carved predominantly with a chisel, freehand, and then with a Dremel tool, after marrying up where the fingers would fit nice and neatly on the gun, so it's nice and comfortable. The end of the gun, the stock, I was puzzled about for a while. I couldn't think of what would be the best piece for it. After a bit of deliberation, I decided that a piece of plastic would actually be the best, most suitable piece for the end. I found this piece of chopping board online, nice and cheap, basically cut that to shape, drilled that in. With the base of the handle, I was thinking of what would be the best piece to protect it, and again I thought a bit of metal would probably be the best way to go. So I've used an angle grinder and I've rounded this off, drilled a number of holes, and I've got a bit of Dyneema cord there, which is for if I need to fit a float line. The trigger mechanism's a Signal Sub Easy Jacko. This has been laid into the handle, again as flush as I could get it without affecting the firing of the spear. The tab on the side, which holds the shooting line, I was thinking of the best way to keep the shooting line neat and avoid tangles with the bands. So I came up with this idea to put a brass pin, which I've bent into a loop and then inlaid into the gun, which helps keep the shooting line underneath the gun and away from the bands. And at the top of the muzzle here, I've laid a groove, which is for the shooting line to sit in, and then it comes over the top of the spear, and then there's a brass pin which holds the shooting line in place over the top of the spear in order to keep the spear nice and neat on the rail. I've used 2 wee magnets which I've inlaid into the gun just to help with the assisting loading. The gun has been sealed with 2 coats of epoxy. However, I wish I'd known a wee bit about this before, because after putting the 2 coats of epoxy on, I found out that the gun was very positively buoyant, and I in fact needed to drill a number of holes into the gun stock and into the handle and inlay some lead. So I melted down lead and I poured it into the gun. From there I filed it down, and then I've re-epoxied over the top of it. I'm very happy with the overall finish of the gun. The gun has been used already and it works really well. It's very accurate, and it's a fish killer. So I'm delighted with how it works. You're going to see more of this in action underwater very soon. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.